We are going to try something a little bit different here, and that is a tag team tournament. The winners get the opportunity to challenge the Brawling Broods for the tag team titles. As Los Lotharios, Arcade Bro, the Imperium, the New Day, the Viking Raiders, the Street Profits, and the Dirty Dogs, as well as Legado del Fantasma, step up and see what happens next. We're going to jump in and we're going to go with the New Day against the Imperium as Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser go against Big E and Kofi. And the winners go against Randy Orton and Matt Riddle in the second round. This is a little bit different. I've never actually ran with a tournament. It's usually just separate matches. And honestly, I don't think Big E's ever been featured. I'm not too sure. But Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther step up, as Gunther has been on the sidelines for the most part. And honestly, this is one of those cases of I usually do see it at the Royal Rumble, where people that have not been featured get the opportunity to get a little bit of a get the opportunity to have a little bit of a moment in the sun, as Gunther chops down Big E with a big chop. E kicks out just as Kofi breaks it up, and Kaiser comes in, knocks Kofi to the outside, as Gunther again takes down Big E. Two of the most powerful men in WWE, Gunther and Big E. As Kaiser is going after Kofi. I apologize, Kofi on the floor. Gunther blocks the lariat from Big E, and Gunther stays on the offensive with E. Kaiser's going after Kofi on the floor. And Kaiser sends Kofi back into the ring as E regains control of the matchup. Big E's showing his power with elbow strikes to the side of the head of Gunther. Nothing pretty about that, but it sure as hell is effective. Press slam by E. Takes down Gunther. Lateral press. And only a 1 count. Only a 1 count by Big E. Big E knocks back Gunther. Picks him up. Slams him down. Big power slam by Big E. Definitely rocks Gunther. E sends him sailing over the top rope. Outside goes Gunther. Kofi picks him up. And then just sails Gunther back into the ring. Gunther was gonna crawl over to Kaiser, but Big E catches him and heaves him over his head. Big E, vintage Big E, with the big splash, lateral press, and Gunther kicks out, barely kicking out at the count of two. And now Kofi finds himself in the ring for the first time. Gunther gets sent into the ropes. Kofi. At this point, you can say it. Vintage Kofi Kingston, as Kofi rocks him with a European uppercut. Basement drop kick avoided. Gunther moves out of the way. Gunther is going to tag out to Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser rocks Kofi, avoiding the first shots, and ends up dropping him with a German suplex. Bridge. I think both at the same time as Big E kicking out, or breaking up the pin. Kofi kicked out. Ludwig gets distracted by Big E, but just as Kofi drops Kaiser, Gunther gets in the ring, and Kofi gets rocked with another German suplex. Kofi is shaken up enough that he was crawling in the wrong corner. Was Kofi. Gunther gets tagged back in by Ludwig Kaiser, Is Gunther going to be on the offensive now, or is New Day going to be able to keep him on the defensive? Straight out. And I'm just going to call it a sleeper hold. Even though I think it was a borderline chokehold, but Kofi rolls to the outside as Gunther has his way with Big E in the ring. Gunther is having his way with Big E in the ring. As Kofi's on the outside, Kaiser's letting Kofi rest on the outside, or he was, just as I spoke. But I don't know why the referee's not doing a count. As now Gunther's just laying waste to Big E with knees right to the side of the head, and now Big E's rolling on the outside. Gunther's not done with Big E. Gunther is not done with Big E, but Big E turns around and sends Gunther back into the ring. Gunther wasn't done with E, but E was done with Gunther. Gunther reverses Kofi. Kofi blocks Gunther. Kofi went for a neckbreaker, but Gunther powered out of it and hit neckbreaker of his own. Gunther powered out of it and hit a neckbreaker of his own. And it looks like Kofi tags out to Big E as E is face to face with Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser sends E into the ropes. E blocks him. E blocks Kaiser again. Reversing Kaiser again. Kaiser reverses Big E. And E reverses Kaiser. A seesaw battle back and forth as Kaiser gets sent sailing over the top rope. Back and forth match thus far between the New Day and Imperium. Wait a second. E gets taken down. Figure 4 leg lock. Kaiser's got him in the figure 4. Ludwig Kaiser's got him in the figure 4, and Kofi finds himself back into the ring to break up the submission hold. Kofi goes out one side, E goes out the other. But unlike last time, Kaiser doesn't let E get some time on the floor. But E sees him coming and tightens up his hamstring, reversing Kaiser again and sending Ludwig Kaiser back into the ring. He looks like he's measuring him, in my opinion, and he is measuring him for the big ending. He's measuring him for the big ending. Lateral press. And not even a 1 count, I should say. Not even a 1 count for the New Day. A overhead belly-to-belly suplex by Big E takes down Kaiser. Kaiser reverses Big E. Springboard crossbody. High elevation by Ludwig Kaiser. High elevation by Ludwig Kaiser on the crossbody. Kaiser brings E over to the ring, over to their corner. The Imperium are in control. Gunther gets reversed. E with a back suplex takes down Gunther. E with a back suplex takes down Gunther. Big boot rocks Gunther. Big boot rocks Gunther. Look at the blood flowing freely on both Gunther and Big E. You gotta figure that this is a hard-hitting affair. One shot didn't just cut Gunther. It cut Gunther across his entire freaking forehead. And the same thing could be said for Big E as well. As he finds himself kicking out. Kaiser again cuts Kofi off, sends him to the outside. Rocks Kofi on the outside. Big clothesline takes down Kaiser. Big E's got Kaiser up again and drops him again with a big ending. Lateral press. This time he got a 1 count at least. But Gunther got back in the ring and Gunther cut him off. E tried to knock Gunther off, but he only knocked him off for a second as Kaiser kicked out. Overhead belly-to-belly suplex by Big E takes down Ludwig Kaiser, and Ludwig Kaiser gets taken out again. Cheap shot by Gunther. Cheap shot by Gunther, and he is fighting back against Gunther. E is fighting back against Gunther. He took too much time with Gunther, and Kaiser reversed him. I mean, Kaiser made him pay for it, but he drops him with a zigzag. Hammer throw into the ropes. Rocks Ludwig Kaiser. E gets sidestepped by Kaiser. Kaiser's bringing E to the opposite side of the ring. And finally, just as E was going to reverse him, finally tags out to Gunther. Chop battle by Gunther and Big E. Wait a second, you know what comes next? Gunther drops E with a big, thunderous power bomb. I feel like it was a mixture of a rope break and Kofi Kingston breaking it up. But again, Kaiser cuts off Kofi. A big knee by Gunther. Big sit by Gunther. Knocks the wind, unquestionably knocks the wind out of Big E. But you also gotta figure, look at the blood flowing freely on both the heads of Gunther and Big E. Big E at the last minute. Big E at the last minute saves himself and this matchup. But Big E's gotta tag out. Big E's gotta tag out the Kofi. 100% Big E's gotta tag out the Kofi. But his tag team partner's not on the ropes. His tag team partner's not on the turnbuckle. Because of Imperium. E drops him with a military press slam. E tries to knock Ludwig Kaiser down. And he cuts off Gunther, stopping Kaiser from making the tag. But this might have cut off Big E. This may cut off Big E, as E is now a little too focused on Ludwig Kaiser and not Gunther. But Big E is able to make the hot tag, knocking himself out of the ring. Gunther and Kofi miss. Kofi knocks Gunther back to the corner. Gunther sidesteps but gets struck by Big E. And Gunther gets sent to the outside. Gunther gets sent to the outside. And he sends him back into the ring. Kofi. You know what comes next? Boom drop. Boom drop by Kofi Kingston. Rocks Gunther. But you know what's got to be coming next? Trouble in Paradise. But Ludwig Kaiser finds himself back into the ring. Ludwig Kaiser finds himself back into the ring. Easily back into the ring comes Ludwig Kaiser, and again, the New Day try to knock Kaiser off the ropes, but Kaiser saw it coming. Gunther reverses Kofi. Kofi reverses Gunther. Kofi picks Gunther up for a fireman's carry. Flapjack. A flapjack takes down Gunther. Kofi stays on Gunther. Enziguri rocks Gunther, only grazes him. Again, the New Day haven't really relied too much on tag team moves, but the Imperium definitely have. Double axe handle. Attacking the arm of Kofi Kingston is Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser avoids so much action. Kofi avoided Kaiser. Kaiser avoided Kofi. But Kaiser ends up taking Kofi down with that bulldog. And now Gunther is back into the ring. Gunther is back into the ring. Big sit rocks Kofi. You gotta figure, you can't anticipate all the weight of Gunther coming down on your stomach and knocking the wind out of you. But Big E runs in, breaks up the pinfall. He just knocks Kofi down with a big boot, but Kofi surprises Gunther. Kofi surprises Gunther. 2. No! Only a 2 count. Kofi surprised him with a small package. But only a 2 count keeps Gunther in the matchup. Gunther again avoids Kofi in the corner, and this time with a running knee, rocks Kofi down. Or knocks Kofi down. Deadlift. Thunderous power bomb by Gunther. A thunderous power bomb by Gunther. And Kofi's using the ropes to pull himself back up. Kofi's in the fireman's carry position, or he was. Drops Kaiser with a reverse DDT. Kofi may have taken the wrong time to go up to the high rent district. X handle off the top by Kofi. Rux. Ludwig Kaiser. Float over DDT by Kofi Kingston. Kofi's going up top. Kofi's going up to the top rope. Big splash off the top by Kofi. Ladder press. 2. And I don't know if Kaiser kicked out or Gunther broke it up, but I think Gunther broke it up because he definitely knocked down the referee. He definitely knocked down the ref. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it might have been a quick count, but I think the New Day should have won. Flip over suplex. Kaiser, Rux, Kofi, ladder press. And I don't know what happened first, but either way, the New Day keep the match going. Kofi sees the springboard crossbody coming. Over the top rope goes Kaiser. So much action. The action between these two men are palpable. It's leaving me at a loss for words pretty much. Kofi gets him with a springboard crossbody. He gets Kaiser with a springboard crossbody. In the ring goes Ludwig Kaiser. Kofi cuts him off, stops the hot tag. Kofi brings him over to the corner. Wait a second. The New Day are looking for the Midnight Hour. Ladder press, but Gunther's already in the ring. And Gunther breaks it up before the count of 1. Gunther gets knocked down. Could this be it for the New Day? They finally knocked down the opposing illegal man. No! Kaiser kicked out. Ludwig Kaiser kicked out. This has got to be it. 2, 3. The New Day advance in the tag team tournament. The New Day advance to fight RK Bro. What a match between the New Day and the Imperium. Tag team matches in this game never cease to amaze. But now we move to the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits. The Street Profits have been the champions before. And the Viking Raiders advance. And who's going to advance in this one? We're going to find out. It's the Dirty Dogs against Legado del Fantasma. I believe Legado del Fantasma No, it wasn't Legado del Fantasma, was it? It was Ridge and Butch. And it was another team. I can't remember who. Maybe it was Legado del Fantasma in the Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team match. Northern Lariat by Bobby Roode. And Roode with a lot of repress early on. But Cruz del Toro kicked out. Inverted atomic drop. Bobby Roode sends Cruz del Toro into the corner with a hammer throw, knocking the wind out of the kid. Or knocking the wind out of Cruz del Toro. Crossface. At one point, I believe the crossface was his finisher in TNA. Cruz del Toro, though, gets out of it easily, as it is very early in the matchup to be doing submissions. Cruz del Toro seems like that slight hesitation from Cruz del Toro was enough to keep Bobby Roode in the offensive, because he was able to regain his composure and rock Cruz del Toro in the small package. Cruz surprises Dolph Ziggler. Cruz surprised Dolph Ziggler with a small package. Cruz del Toro drags Dolph. Legado del Fantasma has some tag team wrestling coming up right here. A variation of the rocket launcher from Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde takes down Dolph Ziggler, and now Legado del Fantasma have the offensive. Looks like Joaquin is attacking the arm of Dolph Ziggler. Spin out arm wrench by Joaquin Wilde. That's not. He's doing it. He's going after the arm of Dolph again. Another spin out arm wrench. It can't feel good, but Dolph gets blocked with the drop kick. It can't feel good, but it is effective. 100%. X Factor. Facebuster by Dolph Ziggler. Let her press. And only a 1 count again. I mean, a smart move by the veterans. Back to the X Factor. Back to the Facebuster by Dolph Ziggler. As Joaquin Wilde, goes to the outside. Joaquin gets rocked with a big right hand from Dolph Ziggler. Dolph with a hot shot rocks Joaquin Wilde on the ropes. And Dolph Ziggler tags out to his tag team partner and fellow Dirty Dog. It's Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode gets sent into the corner, running elbow strike by Joaquin Wilde. But Joaquin Wilde gets hit with an upkick from Bobby Roode. And a basement dropkick rocks Joaquin Wilde down. Knife edge chop. Back and forth we go. Between the Dirty Dogs and Legado del Fantasma. Hot shot. A stun gun rather. A stun gun on the ropes. Lateral press. And again, only a 1 count. Again, a small package. And a kick out by Bobby Roode. The winner of this matchup goes against the Viking Raiders in the second round of the tournament. And the winner of the tournament gets the opportunity to fight the tag team champions Butch and Ridge Holland for the Undisputed World Tag Team titles. Spinebuster. Spinebuster by Bobby Roode. Lateral press and only a 2 count. Joaquin Wilde still has enough in him to kick out. Joaquin Wilde still has enough in him to kick out. Dolph gets back into the ring. Dolph is now the legal man, as Joaquin Wilde is desperate for a tag to Cruz del Toro. Back to the Facebuster. Lateral press. 2. Delayed, but Joaquin Wilde. Dolph Ziggler is getting frustrated. These two have been focused on Joaquin Wilde thus far this matchup, but Dolph Ziggler's taken way too much time to... He's taken way too much time as far as being angry about Joaquin Wilde kicking out. Amateur wrestling takedown by Dolph Ziggler. Stopping the hot tag, standing in front of. Smart tag team wrestling by Dolph Ziggler, standing in front of Cruz del Toro to stop Joaquin Wilde from making the tag. Lateral press again, but this time Cruz del Toro finally. You gotta figure that the frustration from Cruz del Toro may be boiling over as Joaquin Wilde finally shows some life, reversing Dolph Ziggler, knocking him down, and making a tag. Cruz del Toro is finally the legal man. Dolph does not want to stay away from Joaquin Wilde, but this is going to cost him as a springboard. No, Dolph saw it coming. Out of the corner of his eye, Dolph Ziggler saw it coming. DDT takes down Cruz del Toro. Lateral press. And only a 1 count. Cruz reverses Dolph. Dolph reverses Cruz. Sleeper hold. Sleeper hold locked in. A sleeper hold's locked in. It would help if I was pushing the right buttons, but I was pushing the wrong buttons. As Cruz del Toro rolls out of the sleeper hold. Dropkick takes down Ziggler. And Ziggler's rolling on the outside, but outside you ain't safe. As Cruz del Toro again. Dolph saw it coming and again moves out of the way. Back in the ring goes Cruz and Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph is tuning up the band. Dolph is getting ready for the super kick. Dolph Ziggler's getting ready for the super kick. Lateral press. And only at 1 count as Cruz del Toro gets saved by his tag team partner. Dolph tags out to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode has not done much. Wait a second, Bobby Roode just walked right into it. Fisherman Buster. The Fisherman Driver by Cruz del Toro. The Fisherman Driver by Cruz del Toro. And only a 1 count. I don't think Bobby Roode was expecting to walk into a fisherman driver. I don't think Bobby Roode was expecting to walk into a fisherman driver from Cruz del Toro, but either way, Cruz del Toro just saved the match and rocked Bobby Roode right off rip. Bobby Roode reverses him. Big lariat by Bobby Roode. Knocks down Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro. No! The glorious DDT was upcoming, but Cruz del Toro reversed him. Spanish Fly. Standing Spanish Fly by Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro showing a bit of life here. Reversed again. Bobby Roode reverses him again. Big right knocks down Cruz del Toro. A big right hand knocks down Cruz del Toro. Cruz del Toro still fighting though. Cruz del Toro is still fighting though. Northern Lariat. Northern Lariat by Bobby Roode. Joaquin gets in the ring and breaks up the 1-2-3. Saving it for his team. Dolph Ziggler's frustrated with Joaquin Wilde. We knew this already. Gourd Buster. Gourd Buster to Cruz del Toro. Gourd Buster to Cruz del Toro. Bobby Roode's going for it again and lands it the second time. The glorious DDT. The glorious DDT, but Joaquin Wilde doesn't even hesitate. Joaquin Wilde doesn't even hesitate. And Dolph Ziggler's dealing with Joaquin Wilde. But Dolph Ziggler can't deal with the fact that Cruz del Toro kicks out once again. Cruz del Toro kicked out once again. But the Dirty Dog DDTs Cruz on the outside. He DDT'd Cruz del Toro on the apron. Wait, Bobby Roode was going for something on the floor, but Cruz del Toro, T-bone suplex. T-bone suplex by Cruz del Toro. T-bone suplex by Cruz del Toro. Standing Spanish Fly. Cruz del Toro's got a burst of energy. Cruz del Toro is taking it to Bobby Roode. Cruz del Toro's taking it to Bobby Roode, or he was. Sweep the leg. Did Bobby Roode. He ducked him. Release German suplex by Cruz del Toro. Count of 6. Cruz has now got his eyes on Dolph Ziggler just watching him. And then he floats back to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is back in the ring. Bobby Roode needs to make the tag to Dolph Ziggler. Cruz del Toro is finally on the offensive. Cruz is finally on the offensive, and he was trying to take him to Joaquin Wilde, but a little too far was Cruz del Toro from Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro gets sent to the outside to allow Bobby Roode to make the tag to Dolph Ziggler. Dolph is back in the ring, gets blocked from the dropkick. Dolph gets blocked from the dropkick. And Cruz running Enzuigiri. Dolph kicks out. Cruz has got to do a little bit more if he wants to keep down Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, small package. Victory roll, but Bobby Roode is preventing the cover. Bobby Roode is preventing the cover in a 1 count. The referee was distracted by Bobby Roode. I don't know how Dolph feels about that, knowing that his partner is the reason why the ref wasn't counting. Because Joaquin Wilde was delayed, so it could have been a 2. It could have been a 2. It definitely could have been a 2. It was already a 1. But it could have been a 3. It could have been a 3 count. Cruz del Toro avoided it. The running clothesline and sends Dolph Ziggler head over heels with a released German suplex, and now is attacking the knee of Dolph Ziggler. Cruz del Toro, though, is finally making the tag to Joaquin Wilde. Dolph now can't get his eyes off. And wait a second, sweeps the leg. Joaquin drops Dolph. Joaquin dropped Dolph. Lateral press, and Bobby Roode breaks it up. Gets in and breaks it up. But you know what comes next? Joaquin's up top. The 450 splash by Joaquin Wilde. Bobby Roode's got to get back in the ring, and Bobby Roode's got to break it up again. And Bobby Roode does exactly that, breaks it up again. Joaquin Wilde's going back up top. A frog splash this time, but he doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have it in him after hitting the 450 splash. He doesn't have it in him to go for the lateral press because he knocked the wind out of himself again. hitting Dolph with a big with the frog splash and the follow-up 450. Well, vice versa, but you get my point. Northern Light suplex, lateral press, and a kick out at the count of 1 from Joaquin Wilde. I've never seen that before. Joaquin went for a flip over moon. Wait a second. Dolph went for the super kick. Joaquin caught him with a code breaker. After going for that the first time, Joaquin got hit with a low clothesline. A super kick. No! Cruz del Toro reversed him. Brushes off the dropkick. And Dolph reverses the springboard maneuver. These two gotta stop doing springboards because every time they try for a springboard, Dolph reversed them. Every time they try for a springboard, Dolph reverses them. Zigzag! Zigzag by Ziggler. Zigzag by Ziggler. Ziggler catches his eye. And he drops Cruz del Toro. Sorry, that's Joaquin Wilde on the outside. Cruz is in the ring. But he's tuning up the band. He's tuning up the band to Ziggler. Going for the super kick. And he collapses on Cruz del Toro. 3. The Dirty Dogs advance in the tag team tournament. The Dirty Dogs advance in the tag team tournament. Hard-fought match and a great match, but the Dirty Dogs do outsmart. They do outsmart Legado del Fantasma, allowing the Dirty Dogs to get the opportunity to fight in the finals. But who's going to fight in the finals? It's RK Bro versus the New Day, and RK Bro advance in the finals, into the finals. But now we get the Dirty Dogs against the Viking Raiders. But also you gotta figure, because I played the Dirty Dogs and the New Day and didn't play the second round for the New Day, the Dirty Dogs, much like the New Day, are at a disadvantage. Runs right into an overhead belly-to-belly suplex from Eric. Ivar and Eric are dissecting Bobby Roode right now. But that's why I think RK Bro won, because the New Day weren't at full strength. Big splash by Ivar. That can't feel good getting a big splash from a guy that size. I feel bad for Bobby Roode right now. I don't envy Bobby Roode right now. Bobby Roode is getting physically dissected by the Viking Raiders. Tries to roll out of the way, but it doesn't matter if he rolls out of the way. It matters if he can get the offensive. What a wicked move right there by Ivar. What a wicked move by Ivar right there. Rocks Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode keeps trying to fight back. Big lariat takes down Ivar, and Ziggler gets in the ring. Vintage Dolph Ziggler with that lariat. Vintage Dolph Ziggler with that lariat. The odds are stacked against the Dirty Dogs in this one, against Ivar and Eric. And if they want to advance to fight RK Bro, they gotta fight hard and fight fast against the bigger Viking Raiders. Neckbreaker. Dolph is taking it to Ivar right now. Dolph is definitely taking it to Ivar right now. Strike quick and strike fast. Dolph Ziggler's got to do it. I gotta say, Ivar, I'll make a point to say it. Ivar's wearing a crimson mask right now. Ivar turns his attention to Dolph Ziggler, but that was a mistake. To Bobby Roode, but that was a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. But he still kept composure. Nothing pretty about that from the Viking Raiders, but most of their offense. That's most of their offense. Nothing pretty about it. But it is brutality personified with the Viking Raiders. And I would say the Brawling Brutes versus the Viking Raiders should be an interesting tag team match. With Dolph, it looked like he was going to fight out of it. But instead, fell victim to a cheap shot from Ivar. Now Eric is still in control. Single leg takedown, or a variation of the spear from Eric. Rocks. Dolph Ziggler, we thought he was going to get a hot tag to Bobby Roode, but no, Eric cut him off. Eric cut him off. Dolph's just getting manhandled right now by Eric. Drops him. Dolph gets dropped right in the middle of the ring. Dolph is getting manhandled right now. Last ditch effort, he tries for a dropkick, gets brushed off. Dolph fights back again. Knocks back Eric. Knocks Eric into the ropes. Over the top rope goes Ivar. Over the top rope goes Ivar. If I was Dolph, I'd go for the tag right now. Takedown. Neck snap by Robert Roode. Neck snap by Robert Roode. Big right hand takes down Ivar. Draws him back in. Backbreaker. Now the Dirty Dogs have control of Ivar. As I said it, the Dirty Dogs lost control. Or only for a second they lost control. Northern Lariat takes down Ivar. A Northern Lariat takes down Ivar. Big running forearm shiver. Or big running forearm smash by Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode rocks Ivar. With a spinebuster. Over the top rope goes Ivar to the outside. I don't know how smart this is for Bobby Roode to go to the outside. Especially right in front of Eric. I don't know how smart this is for Bobby Roode, but I think I'm thinking Bobby Roode might be trying to get Ivar counted out. He might be trying to get Ivar counted out, but it'll only work if he can get himself back into the ring. Running neckbreaker takes down Ivar. Ivar is definitely rocked. Ivar is definitely the weaker of the two right now between Eric and Ivar. 6. The count of 6. Can Ivar get himself back up? 7. The Dirty Dogs may have gotten the count out. 8. No. The Dirty Dogs don't get the count out. The Dirty Dogs don't get the count out. But Dolph Ziggler's got him in a sleeper hold. Dolph Ziggler's got him in a sleeper hold. Dolph Ziggler's got Ivar in a sleeper. But Eric breaks it up. Eric breaks it up. Dolph had his eyes on Eric. Dolph had his eyes on Eric for a second. Just for a second. Shake the Mr. Perfect with that neck snap from Dolph Ziggler. Dolph is measuring. Dolph is measuring Ivar. This is how they beat. This is how they defeated. This is how they defeated Legado del Fantasma. But Dolph is smart here and makes the tag. O'Connor roll by Robert Roode. Rolls him a little farther away, but just in time. I'm not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg, or what came first, the kick out or the breakup. Double axe handle off the apron. Bobby Roode gets himself back on the outside. These two have been taking it to Ivar, and just as I say that, Ivar gets back in control. And loses it once again. Northern Lariat takes down Ivar. Bobby Roode gets back in the ring. I don't know if Bobby Roode wants the count out. I don't know if they still want the count out win. That would be smart, but I also think the count out win would also work in the next round with RK Bro. Ivar with a big boot knocks down. Big boot, simple. A big boot knocked Bobby Roode halfway across the ring from Ivar. Ivar, the spinning kick by Ivar, rocks Bobby Roode, and Ziggler's on the outside with Eric. Soccer ball kicks to the back. I don't know why he keeps going for soccer ball kicks to the back. What the hell's Ivar doing? He should be going for the ladder. He should be going for a cover. But he keeps going for soccer ball kicks to the back. He jumped on the arm of Robert Roode, and now Ivar screwed up. Ivar cost his team the match. A tope suicida. Ivar with a tope suicida. A man that large should not be able to do that. But Ivar drops with a tope suicida. But I still think Ivar cost his team the matchup, striking forearm by Ivar. He should have went for the lateral press. He should have went for the cover on Robert Roode. He should have went for the cover on Robert Roode. Textbook standing dropkick by Robert Roode. 7. Again, Ivar and Robert Roode love being on the outside. Next snap. Again cuts him off. Again blocks him. We're gonna see a tag here. No, Bobby Roode blocks him again. Bobby Roode blocks him again. Spinebuster. Spinebuster by Bobby Roode. Spinebuster by Bobby Roode. Into the corner. And now, the Dirty Dogs. Spike pile driver. Spike pile driver. They hit their tag team finish. But Eric sees it. He's getting frustrated. We saw this with Legado del Fantasma. Eric's getting frustrated. And Ivar rolls to the outside again. But now it's Dolph Ziggler on the outside. Eric tried to get Dolph Ziggler down. But Dolph gets cut off by Ivar. That slight distraction from Eric paid off. What in the name is going on? Sit out. Wait a second. He just dropped Ziggler with his finisher. Ivar just dropped him with a sit out reverse pile driver. I'm thinking. It also could be considered a Samoan driver, but he just did what the Dirty Dogs did to him. Or what the Dirty Dogs tried to do to him. 7. These two gotta get back in the ring. Could the Viking Raiders give the Dirty Dogs a taste of their own medicine? Ivar tried to go for the tag, but Eric stopped him. Eric dropped down. Just in time. Just in the nick of time. But now Ivar's distracted with Robert Roode. But Dolph rolls him up. And a 3. The Dirty Dogs somehow, someway, get the victory. Miscommunication, poor timing, but you see the war that the Dirty Dogs have been through. You see the effects of the war the Dirty Dogs have been through. And now they gotta face RK Bro if they want the opportunity to go against the Brawling Brutes. But somehow, the Dirty Dogs get through. Somehow, the Dirty Dogs get past the Viking Raiders. Miscommunication and poor timing cost the Viking Raiders to lose the matchup, and now the Dirty Dogs go against RK Bro with the opportunity to challenge for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team titles. At stake. The Dirty Dogs against RK Bro. Honestly, the reason why I didn't play the New Day versus RK Bro is because I wasn't going to play both matches. I was just going to play one of them. And I totally forgot about damage retention. Otherwise, I would have played both of them. But it also would have been where I simulated the finals anyway, because I wasn't going to play the finals. But also, damage retention apparently falls to the opposite team too, even with us not playing it. As Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are behind the 8 ball in this one unquestionably against RK Bro. Belly-to-belly suplex by Riddle. Takes down Bobby Roode. Can Bobby Roode end Dolph Ziggler defy the odds again? Or will RK Bro be the ones against the Brawling Brutes for the tag belts? Randy Orton breaks it up. Dolph Ziggler tries to get to Randy, but gets sent out of the ring. Speaking of sent out of the ring, Bobby Roode's now on the apron and about to be sent out of the ring, but he reverses. He reverses Matt Riddle, but Riddle catches him again and sends him back to the outside and back to the floor, this time with a hot shot. Randy Orton gets tagged in. Randy Orton is now the legal man. Randy Orton found a new life, a new lease on life, and a new lease on his career with this tag team with Riddle. Randy's on top. Crossbody by Randy Orton takes out Bobby Roode on the floor. Honestly, if I was Dirty Dogs, I'd try any underhanded tactic, any way possible to get in the match, in the finals against the Brawling Brutes, and save a bit of time and save a bit of energy. And the only thing you can't do is get yourself disqualified, because you get yourself disqualified, you're out. You're done. Randy sends Bobby Roode back into the ring, but is Randy Orton going to be aware of the tactics that the Dirty Dogs could use as Randy shoots the half of the ladder of press? And Bobby Roode gets saved by his partner. Riddle's got his eyes on Ziggler. Randy steps on the bridge of the nose and the forehead of Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's cut is reopened from earlier in the tournament. Bobby Roode's cut is from earlier in the tournament against the Viking Raiders. His cut is reopened. Straight right hand knocks down Randy. Nothing pretty about that one. As Taz would call it, nothing pretty about that soup bone. Fisherman suplex, but Bobby Roode doesn't go for the ladder of press. Instead, he goes for the tag to Ziggler. Ziggler and Randy have a long history with one another. And Randy gets taken down with a lariat. Vintage Ziggler with that one. Ziggler is one of the best at throwing those drop kicks, but Randy is right up with him as far as drop kicks are concerned. Randy Orton's drop kick is picture perfect, and it always has been. Northern Lights suplex almost got the win. Almost got the win. Almost was enough to get the win for the Dirty Dogs against RK Bro. Randy bills him off the top rope. Down goes Ziggler. Is Randy going to open up Ziggler too? No, Ziggler's cut is still... I guess Ziggler's cut was sealed a little bit better. But Riddle's now back in the ring. Riddle. I mean, if there's something that people need to stop doing, they need to stop doing springboard moves with Dolph Ziggler because he sees them coming all the time. But that's the thing, the Dirty Dogs were able to adjust against Legado del Fantasma and against the Viking Raiders. Will they be able to adjust against RK Bro 2 as an angle slam takes down Riddle? An angle slam took down Riddle. Snap German. A Titan snug. Titan snug from Ziggler. And they're taking it to Riddle. Riddle gets sent over the top rope to the outside from Ziggler. And Ziggler follows him to the floor. But again, like we saw with the Viking Raiders, it again caused a slight distraction with Randy coming at Dolph Ziggler. And Riddle ended up taking advantage of it because Ziggler was still distracted from Randy Orton. Riddle is now showing his educated feet. Riddle is showing his educated feet. Drops Ziggler with a spine buster on the outside. I'm not sure what Riddle was trying for there, but Ziggler gets reversed. Gets reversed again. And an overhead release German by Riddle. Rocks Ziggler on the floor. The semis could end in a countout if these two men don't get back in the ring. Riddle turns it back. Count of 8. Riddle's got to get back in the ring. He's at a count of 9. Riddle almost was outside. He almost got himself counted out because he chose to go on that side of the ring on the other, as opposed to the other. Kimura lock. Riddle's got a Kimura lock locked in on Robert Roode. Riddle's got a Kimura locked in on Robert Roode. And Dolph's on the outside. He can't break it up for his partner. Riddle's got it locked in. But Bobby Roode avoids it. Bobby Roode gets out of it. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting a Kimura of all moves from Riddle. I believe this is what you call a bro Derek. But Dolph's back up now. Dolph squeezes right past Randy Orton and breaks up the submission. And actually, that was the bro mission by Riddle. That was the bro mission by Riddle. Crossbody block off the top. Lateral press. Dolph breaks it up just as Robert kicks out. Fisherman Buster. Fisherman Buster by Riddle. And another hot tag. In comes Ziggler. Ziggler with is a house of fire to start. Ziggler is a house of fire to start. Knocks Randy Orton down. Clothesline. Tries to get Bobby Roode again. Wait. No. Riddle reversed him. Riddle blocked the super kick. I think Ziggler exhausted everything. Ziggler exhausted himself before he could make sure that he had everything under control. Ziggler exhausted himself before he could have everything under control, and that came back to bite him. Zigzag! Zigzag drops Riddle. Zigzag drops Riddle, but Randy Orton gets in the ring and breaks up the pinfall. Zigzag dropped Riddle, but Randy gets back in the ring and breaks it up. Dolph's going to the outside. Dolph sends Riddle to the outside. Bobbert. Bobby Roode goes back up top. Angle slam on the floor. 3. Count of 3. Ziggler lands the super kick, but both men are down. Ziggler lands the super kick, but both men went down. Ziggler gets back up. Ziggler gets himself back into the ring. Could this be enough? 6. Are these guys going to actually get the pin? Are these guys going to actually get the win based on a countout? Ziggler took advantage of it. He went for a submission on Riddle, but Riddle reversed him. I think Ziggler would have been better off just going for a cover. Big knee from Riddle. Rocks Ziggler. Riddle's just standing on him, rocking him. Randy with the tag. Randy's in. Riddle gets the tag. Randy now mounted punches. Rights and lefts. Dolph saved by Robert Roode, who came out of nowhere from off camera. Randy's now strangling Dolph Ziggler. Out of frustration. You gotta figure. I mean, if Riddle goes for the Kimura again, this time on Ziggler or on Robert Roode, I think that's it. If Riddle goes for a submission, that's it. As Ziggler's getting double teamed. Ziggler finds some life. Dropkick. Beautifully executed by Ziggler. It's like I said, there are only a handful of people I can name. Ziggler's one of them, as far as people that know how to throw a dropkick. Bob Holly. Robert Roode. Randy Orton. Billy Gunn was always good with dropkicks. The Elevation, the picture-perfect nature. Maven was always good with dropkicks too. Belly-to-belly suplex by Randy Orton. Takes down Robert Roode. Wait a second, Randy Orton, don't do this. Randy! Robert Roode saw it coming, blocked the punt. Randy Orton was going to punt Robert Roode. Why do I keep calling him Bobbert? He was going to punt Robert Roode. But Robert Roode saw it coming and avoided it. Alley-oop out of the corner from Riddle. Riddle again, quick tags, frequent tags from RK Bro. Keeps him fresh and keeps him in the matchup. Randy's attacking the arm of Riddle. Of Robert Roode, not Riddle. Randy Orton. Knee. Vintage Orton with that knee. Just cold, calm, and calculated is the Viper. Calm, cold, and calculated is the Viper. Riddle wheels him back and just a knee right to the mush of Bobby Roode. Again, frequent tags by RK Bro. Smart offense. But Randy gets surprised with a small package. The referee, I don't know what to say there, but either way, it wasn't enough to keep down Randy Orton. Vintage Randy Orton, the rope draped. DDT. Cold, calm, and calculated is the Viper, as the Viper drops Robert Roode with the DDT. Vintage Randy Orton there. Randy's bringing him over. Textbook move here. Attacking the arm again of Robert Roode is Riddle. You know what comes next. It's the Bro Mission. It's the Bro Mission. But this time, it's not going to be enough for Ziggler to break it up, and the Dirty Dogs have fallen short against RK Bro. As RK Bro gets the win, and RK Bro are the ones to challenge the Brawling Brutes for the undisputed World Tag Team Championships. RK Bro, the Dirty Dogs put up a great effort and a great fight, but in my opinion, they focused on countouts more with the Viking Raiders, and that ended up costing them in this one against RK Bro. We got to jump in the finals. And we're going to jump in the finals and play as the tag team champions. RK Bro is going to have the opportunity to defeat Butch and Ridge Holland, but Butch and Ridge Holland are fresh. RK Bro are not. So the tag team champions have the advantage. Big move there by Riddle from the outset. Lariat takes down Riddle. Lariat takes down Riddle from Butch. Butch picks him up. Straight powerbomb takes down Riddle. If I was Butch and Ridge, I'd say screw it and just try and end the match early. As Riddle keeps fighting back against Butch, but Butch keeps reversing Riddle. Butch is going after the arm of Riddle. That's one thing that Butch can do better than most. It's target a limb and attack it like it's going out of style. Back to the sit-out powerbomb. This time he goes for the lateral press. This time the ref's out of position, though. But Randy Orton breaks it up. Big right hand by Riddle. Riddle's fighting back. Riddle's coming back against Butch. Big fisherman buster by Riddle. This time he goes for the lateral press, though. And Riddle only gets a 1 count in the first lateral press of the match for RK Bro. Randy catches Butch on the apron and now turns his attention back to Ridge Holland, and Ridge gives Randy a forearm shiver for his troubles. Straight right to the mush of Randy Orton from Butch. Kimura lock locked in on Randy Orton. But Riddle comes in and breaks it up. Kimura. Butch puts the Kimura in on Riddle. Got Randy up, drops him down with the X-Plex. Into the ropes goes Orton. Belly to belly suplex. Takeover. Down goes Butch. Butch gets reversed by Randy. Butch reverses Randy. Randy reverses Butch. Ridge Holland is looking for a cheap target. Wheels him back in. Big DDT, a big backbreaker by Butch. Butch tags out to Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland finds himself in the match for the first time. This tournament has been exactly what you would expect from the tag team division, and something that I would like to try again down the road. Ridge, elbow drop to the small of the back, stops Randy from going to the hot tag. I've never seen anybody else but Taz do that suplex. Randy blocked him. Into the ropes goes Ridge Holland. Drop down from Randy. Randy with a snap power slam. Snap power slam by Randy Orton. Vintage Orton with that one. But Orton and then avoids the clothesline and drops him with a snap German. Again, Ridge Holland fights out of it. And again, Randy Orton's on the defensive. Randy gets sent over with again that belly-to-belly suplex. But again, Ridge stands in between Randy and Riddle. Nerve hold by Ridge Holland rocks Randy Orton. A nerve hold by Ridge Holland rocks Randy. Ridge goes for the tag. Tags out to Butch. The tag team champions have everything to gain. I mean, everything to lose and nothing to gain. But the ball is in their court as far as I'm concerned. Surfboard. A surfboard by Butch on Randy. Riddle's got Butch taking him down. Imagine if Riddle stays in the ring too long and gets himself disqualified. Already at the count of 2. I feel like Butch may want a piece of Riddle's ass at this point. But Randy Orton has been on the offensive and has been in the ring for a while now. He could benefit from making a tag to his partner. Wait a second. Bitter end upcoming. Bitter end by Butch. Bitter end by Butch. Ladder press. And Riddle's in already to break up the pinfall. Riddle's in already to break up the pin. Butch just turns his attention, doesn't even hesitate, turns his attention to Riddle and rocks him on the outside. But Randy Orton takes advantage. Randy Orton is somebody you can't take your eyes off of. You take your eyes off of him, he will make you regret it. Vintage backbreaker by Randy Orton takes down Butch as Butch kicks out, and Butch now rolls to the outside. Ridge and Randy are in the ring. Ridge and Randy Orton are in the ring. Things are falling apart in this tag team title matchup. The Illegal Man is in the ring with Randy Orton. Randy reversed him. Forearm shiver. Butch and Randy are trading soup bones. Randy Orton. Fallaway slam. Fallaway slam by Randy. Randy's setting up for the punt. Randy is setting up for the punt. Butch gets rocked with a punt. And again, kick out. It doesn't matter if it was a kick out or a breakup. Either way, the match continues with Butch and Randy Orton. Butch surprises Randy. Butch surprises Randy with a roll up. Riddle's out of position. And only a 2 count. Randy kicked out. Riddle with a pump kick. Takes down Randy Orton. Drop kick. Randy avoids him. Randy's finally making a tag to Riddle. After all this time, Randy is finally making a tag to Riddle. Double back body drop by RK Bro. As Butch has fallen out of the ring. Butch is rolling on the outside. Riddle second guesses jumping off the top rope. Turns his attention to Ridge Holland instead. Ridge gets hung up on the top rope. By Riddle. Wait a second, I know this move. That's Bro Derek. That is the Bro Derek by Riddle. Or I feel like that was Bro Derek. Randy went for the RKO, but Butch reversed him. Randy went for the RKO, but Butch reversed him. Butch finally tags out to Ridge. Ridge is finally in the matchup. Picking apart a damaged Randy Orton. Head and arm release suplex by Ridge. Randy reverses Ridge. I mean, if it was possible, Ridge would have ended up on the outside with that fallaway slam. Randy shoots the half. Lateral press. But Ridge kicks out at the count of one. Ridge is unquestionably the freshest person in this matchup. Butch stayed in the match way longer than expected. Is Randy going to make the tag? Yes, Randy's actually going to make the tag to Riddle. I think Ridge went for a shoulder tackle. Randy with a cheap shot. Ridge reverses Riddle. Clothesline. No, Ridge got reversed again. Riddle dropped him with an overhead kick. Butch breaks up the pinfall. Butch breaks up the pinfall. Ridge rolls to the outside. Catches himself on the apron. Again, a forearm shiver rocks Riddle. Ridge fights out of it. Big lariat takes down Riddle. Big lariat takes down Riddle. Ridge. Alabama slam by Ridge Holland. Takes down Riddle again. Into the corner goes Riddle. Riddle fights out of it, but Butch returns the favor with a cheap shot. Butch returns the favor with a cheap shot. Riddle is down. Butch and Ridge tag out. Butch and Ridge switch sides. I think they were trying for the corner, but I guess they couldn't get him in the corner. Nothing pretty about that, but simple from Butch to Riddle. Butch just wrestles down Riddle, and it's just stretching the arm of Riddle. It's not supposed to bend that way. Triangle choke. Butch has got him in a triangle choke. Butch has got Riddle in a triangle choke. Butch turns his attention to Randy Orton. He's good. I think he went for the Kimura again, but Riddle reversed him. Riddle wrestles him down to the ground. Lateral press. One. And a kick out by Butch. Ridge Holland gets in the ring and is just staring at Riddle. Riddle rocks Butch with a forearm shiver. Butch just pulls himself up in the corner. Canadian backbreaker by Randy Orton. And down he goes. Outside goes Butch. Inside comes Riddle. Riddle catches... No, Butch. Butch catches Riddle. Bitter end. The bitter end. Is this the bitter end for the RK Bro? No. Randy Orton breaks it up again. Butch stops Riddle from rolling to the outside. Kimura. The Kimura locked in. The Kimura's locked in. Butch is trying as he may to get Riddle to submit. Riddle with a big right hand. Hammer fist dropping down on the face of Butch from Riddle. I would say by far this has been the best of the three. Pump kick takes down Butch. Takes down Riddle. Riddle versus Butch. Low. Riddle went high. Butch went low. Butch gets taken down. Overhead belly to belly by Riddle. Butch is rocked. Lateral press. And Butch kicks out again. Somehow Butch kicked out. Butch fights out of it. High kick. Rocks Riddle. High kick rocks Riddle. But Butch has got to stop Riddle from making the tag. Bitter end. Bitter end by Butch. Bitter end by Butch. But he's got the triangle locked in again. He's got the triangle locked in again. Riddle. Last ditch effort. Shoulder tackle by Ridge Holland rocks Randy Orton. Riddle with his last ditch effort. Last bit of energy to go. Riddle finds himself out of the submission and out of the triangle choke. Butch rolls to the outside. That was probably the best opportunity the Brawling Brutes had to win the matchup. Riddle turns his attention to Ridge Holland. I think this is a mistake. Ridge gets knocked to the outside. Riddle catches Butch. Butch catches Riddle. Kimura lock. The Kimura lock is locked in, but Randy reverses him. Randy breaks it up. Riddle rolls to the outside. Randy gets knocked to the floor. Riddle gets powerbombed on the outside by Ridge Holland. Double axe handle takes Randy down on the outside. Butch gets back into the ring. The suplex, the X-plex, lateral press. 3, and the Brawling Brutes retain the tag team titles in what was a chaotic finals for this undisputed tag team titles. The spotlight for the tag team division has never been brighter than it was in this tournament. And if you want to see more things like this, let me know down in the comment section below, or let the views tell the story. But either way, the Brawling Brutes keep the tag belts. With that being said, that is it from me, and I will see you in the next one.